What's up, guys? It's Chief. I wanted to ask you, have you ever heard of the phenomenon of the black-eyed kids? For short, it's BEK. All right, if you haven't, I'm about to spook you out a little bit. All right, so the phenomenon came to light in about 1998 when this man, Brian Bethel, was sitting outside of a movie theater and just kind of chilling. But he was approached by two young kids between the ages of 9 and 12 years old. He described one as having more of an olive complexion with dark curly hair, the other one having more fair-skinned and having red hair. And he said that they were together, they were wearing like really kind of outdated type of clothes, and they approached his car, which was already kind of weird because even though they're kids, like it's still a little strange to approach any stranger and ask them to take you somewhere else. So these kids approached him and asked him if he would be willing to take them to their mom's homes so they can get money to go to the movie and see the new movie that just came out, Mortal Kombat. And I remember when I was a kid and this movie came out and it was everything, still kind of is to me. So I get it, you know. But he noticed the time and he told them that by the time he took them to their mom's homes and then brought them back, that the movie would have ended and they would have missed the movie. So the whole trip would be for nothing, you know. When he told them this, they got disappointed and told them and honestly just wanted to get in his car and kept coming up with different excuses on if they can get into his car or not. He can take them to the mom's house or wherever. They just wanted to sit in the car. So he was off put by this and didn't let them get in. And even though he kept explaining to them why, they became very demanding and just persistent. Again, they were disappointed. So he kept talking to them. He was able to get a closer look at them and noticed that their eyes were completely black. There was no white showing in their eyes whatsoever. And it just looked like he was staring into a soulless person or a soulless kid. So when he saw this, it frightened him and he was getting ready to pull off when one of them started knocking on the window and basically became even more aggressive and saying that they just needed to get in and they needed his permission to get in, that the only way that they can enter his car is if he invited them in. And that was it. He also noted that when they would speak, but one in particular, when one would speak, he would get this overall feeling of dread, just this ominous feeling that he was in trouble or he was in danger. So that also triggered him. And he actually figured out how to just drive off and drive away without hurting these kids that were at his window and trying to get into his car. And he said as soon as he looked back into the rearview mirror, they had completely disappeared. So they weren't there at all anymore. And again, so this happened in 1998. There weren't any cases or anyone talking about their encounters with kids like this or beings like this up until then. When his messages, it was actually an email that was leaked that he had shared with his friends, and it was leaked out. And then other people started coming forward saying that they've had these similar situations with different types of kids of different age ranges, different sizes, different colors, different looks, or whatever it is. He said that they all, and the overall consensus is that these kids put themselves in danger or harm or make themselves seem very helpless. And of course, any adult is going to want to help a kid that's in need. So it tugs at your heartstrings. But the thing is that they need to be invited in. So they have like this vampire type of thing about them. And they need to be actually invited into into your house, your car, whatever it is. And if you don't invite them in, then they are not allowed to wreak havoc on your life. The people that have let them in have always explained like a ton of bad luck afterwards or even death afterwards. So you have to be careful, all right? So even though, and you know, again, we all like to help kids. We all want to help kids, but be careful. Stay away from strangers. Look into their eyes. Everything is in the eyes, all right? Be safe out there and be spooky. See you guys soon.